So, what now? So, what's up, guys? Azalea here. In the last part of this series, we got this old Bachmann big hauler running for the first time in who knows how long. In this part, we're going to attempt to get the finishing touches on the model and hopefully take it out to my friend's garden layout. So yeah, let's get into it. A couple days after the first part of this series went live, I noticed that the engine was having some difficulties. At random points, she'd just stall and jitter until I had to shake her to get her moving again. So after that, I decided to take her apart and see what the problem was. Alright, let's take this thing apart, see what other horrors this thing's hiding. Excuse the dogs playing in the background. You can't behave, I'm gonna put you outside. Okay, there's screw number one. Okay, come on, puppies. Okay, now that they're all out and I can hear myself think. Yeah, don't worry, I'll let them back in. Yeah, when they get all rambunctious like that, it's best to put them out. Yeah, let's see what was making this thing bind up. Okay, I think all we need to do is take out this last screw right here, and this entire thing should just pop right off. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. I don't like that. Oh, God. Oh, God. Come here, viewers, and take a look at this. Ugh. Yeah, that's gonna need cleaning. Everything looks like it's still in place, so that's a relief. Oh, that looks awful. That's disgusting. I think I might have figured out what was causing this thing to bind up last night. The motor isn't really held in place. Well, the base keeper is the only thing that holds it in place. And it can sometimes slip and cause things to bind up. So yeah, that's what happened with the motor. Interesting. This place smells like vomit from all that old lubrication, but I've got it mostly cleaned out, and I've got this thing re-lubricated. So yeah, let's see how this thing performs. Alright, let's see how she does with all this new lubrication. Uh-oh. About the same. Got it. Okay, I think I might have figured out what's causing this. The base keeper plate isn't really on the right way, and I've got to figure out how to put it on the right way. Because there's this unsightly gap right here, and I wonder if that's affecting the rest of the drive's performance. So yeah, I'm gonna take this over to the bench and see if I can't snap it back into place. I then proceed to spend the next 10 minutes taking this thing apart and reassembling it just to see what was wrong. Right, I've got everything put back together, and I've lubricated all of the wheels on the engine, all of the axles, all of the crank pins, and the wheels on the tender. And now this thing works much better. Most of the time. Yeah, she's really sluggish because she's running low on battery. Once she gets warmed up, she gets really going. And I figured out what was causing her to bind up. It wasn't anything to do with the base keeper plate, it was how I start and stop the engine. Because normally I just grab her to shut her off, but that causes the gears to bind up. And then when I turn her back on, it takes her a while to unbind her gears. So now what I have to do is pick her up in order to turn her off, so that doesn't make her gears bind. Yeah. And we did order a new remote off eBay, so that should be coming soon, so I can actually finally control this thing. And tomorrow we're taking her into town to see if we can find an RC car battery that fits her. So yeah, she's coming along really nicely, and I think I can call this restoration almost complete. So yeah, I'll see you when we have that RC car battery. Alright, and here is the remote. And this thing does in fact work, but there's a slight problem with it. It doesn't work for this engine. So, after spending 10 minutes having a mental breakdown trying to figure out what the problem was, I looked on the back of the remote and saw the item code. No, yeah, this thing right here. Come on, focus, you piece of crap camera. Yeah, so this is the item code of the remote. 90-0100-A27. And then that got me thinking. So I looked on the bottom of the locomotive, and this thing's product code is 90-0100-49. So this is the wrong remote, and I figured out why. Bachmann made two versions of this train set. The original one was 90-0100-27, and the -27 was because the train needed 27 megahertz to be controlled. Then, when they came out with this second variant of the set, they switched to a 49 megahertz controller. And the best way to tell the difference between the two sets is the number on the engine. The original set has the number 7, while mine has the number 9. And as far as finding controllers for this thing goes, I haven't had any luck so far. All the controllers I found are for the 27. So it's going to be a real pain to find the right controller for the 49. So, anyone want a controller? Because we don't need it. And also, about the battery that I was referring to, we couldn't go to look for a battery the proper way by going to a place and asking if they had a battery that fit this, because we got snowed in. So what we had to do is we looked on Amazon for a battery, and I found one that I thought matched all of the specifications. 1200 mega amps and 7.4 volt battery. And I thought, okay, this is perfect. And it seemed to have the right connector. But here's the thing. I overestimated the size. When we got this thing, it was so small, it wasn't even funny.
Small, 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 teeny, weeny, weeny.
And as it turns out, the connector was small too. There was no way in heck that connector was fitting onto this plug. If I had a picture, I'd show you, but we're currently packing them up, ready to ship them back. As for the controller, we'll probably just sell this online, or maybe keep it if we ever find the number 7 to go with it. I don't know, probably. G-Skill's gonna make me go bankrupt, oh my god. We didn't have time to worry about all of these issues, however, because the next day was the day of the Garden Railway running session. For all intensive purposes, the engine ran just fine. She didn't need a controller or any fancy RC car batteries. She could run just fine without them, but it still soured my mood as I arrived at the day of the running session. When I set her down on Garden Railway tracks for the first time, I didn't really expect too much from her. I expected her to be sluggish and stall all the time and hold up the main line. What I didn't expect from her, however, was for her to outrun every engine there. While everyone else kept having problems with their big, fancy, expensive engines, this clapped out 40-year-old big hauler outlasted them all. About halfway through the day, I put my engine into the siding for a little break, and the owner let me run his giant L107, and that was quite possibly the scariest train I have ever run. That engine was so huge, it was like 30-something pounds, and I was so scared of it derailing and like damaging something. Either way, it was still such a cool engine to run. After a good while, I decided to give control back up to its owner and took my engine back out of the siding. As I stood back and watched my engine go around, I could only stand back and just watch and reflect on just how far this engine's come. When I got her, she was a non-runner, and she was filled to the brim with corrosion. And now, here she was, running just as well, if not better, than the best of the best. And quite frankly, I couldn't be happier with her. Okay, now let's go on to the scary part of the story. If this thing runs so great, then explain that. Alright, so it is now the next day. Hey guys, guess what? Lo and behold. So once again comes the question of, now what? I think now I'm just going to go back out on the hunt for controllers and batteries before I inevitably take her out to another garden railway. I'm thinking we'll actually take her to a place and get batteries prescribed for her, if that even makes any sense. After that, we'll see if I can actually find the right controller for her. And then after that, it'll just be fine-tuning performance. She's definitely a bit on the louder side, so I'd like to fix that eventually. After that, I think we'll just find more cars to make a longer train and maybe find a few friends for her in the form of some other engines. And that concludes this 2-part mini-series of restoring the Bachmann Big Hauler. But don't worry, this is by no means the last video you'll ever see her in. So yeah, that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a great rest of your day, okay? Bye!
Hammond, you idiot! You reversed into the sports lorry!
Oh god.
We've broken away, we've broken away.
Uh-oh. Break away. Oh, and your tender's off.